The Biden administration may go down in history as the most brazen constitutional fraud in American history. A Potemkin presidency fronted by a failing puppet with staffers behind the scenes pulling the strings. This is not political hyperbole. The American people saw it with their own eyes during the June 2024 debate. Numerous times, Biden stood frozen behind the podium. You know what? Not a single Democrat is here today because not a single one of them gives a damn about the fact that they lied to the American people for 4 years. They knew. Every one of them knew that Joe Biden was mentally not competent to do the job. The White House press secretary, she knew when she stood in front of the American people and lied over and over and over again. And they're not here because they can't defend themselves. Now, I have been asked literally 1,000 times by Texans, who was running the country?
Today's Senate hearing wasn't just another day on Capitol Hill, it was electric, charged with accusations, tough questions, and the kind of political theater only Washington can deliver. Senator Ted Cruz came out swinging, leveling a bold accusation against the Biden administration. His claim? That America is living through what he called the most brazen constitutional fraud in history. Cruz wasted no time. He pointed directly at President Biden's mental fitness, dragging the infamous June debate into the spotlight, where Biden, let's be honest, didn't look like the sharpest tool in the shed. Cruz wasn't subtle. He said Biden's mental state was clear for all to see, and yet the Democrats went on with their charade, propping him up as the leader of the nation. And this is where things got really interesting. Cruz turned up the heat over how executive orders are being signed. Remember the Autopen? That little machine that can duplicate a signature? Cruz claimed it's basically running the show. He laid out the numbers. Back in 2021, Biden signed 78 executive orders himself. But by 2024, every single one was signed with the Autopen. 16 out of 24 in 2023 were Autopen, and now it's all of them. Cruz said, "This isn't a coincidence. When you've got the President of the United States signing the law with a machine, you've got a constitutional crisis." He didn't stop there. He brought in a legal expert, Mr. Wald, and asked him point blank if laws signed by a staffer using an Autopen could be considered legally binding.
The Biden administration may go down in history as the most brazen constitutional fraud in American history. A Potemkin presidency fronted by a failing puppet with staffers behind the scenes pulling the strings. This is not political hyperbole. The American people saw it with their own eyes during the June 2024 debate. Numerous times, Biden stood frozen behind the podium, mouth agape, eyes frozen and unblinking. When he did speak, his words were confused and disjointed. I said that night, this is the most consequential presidential debate in history because it will result in one of the two candidates being removed from the ballot. That was exactly right. And following that debate, the Democrats recognized the collapse. They pulled out their knives and took out President Biden like Caesar on the Ides of March. For all of their strutting about, protesting that they support democracy, not a one of them gave a damn about democracy when they pulled Biden off the ballot and dropped Kamala Harris in without a single Democrat primary voter voting for him. And you know what? Not a single Democrat is here today because not a single one of them gives a damn about the fact that they lied to the American people for 4 years. They knew. Every one of them knew that Joe Biden was mentally not competent to do the job. The White House press secretary, she knew when she stood in front of the American people and lied over and over and over again. And they're not here because they can't defend themselves. It wasn't a surprise. For 4 years, the White House hid President Biden from Republican senators, would not let him meet with us. He served 40 years in this body. We all know him. And they deliberately lied. And by the way, Jake Tapper had a bombshell book exposing the incredible scandal that Biden's mental decline was covered up by Jake Tapper. There's a Yiddish word, chutzpah. And that truly is chutzpah. How dare we lie and cover up what we all knew? Now, I have been asked literally 1,000 times by Texans, who was running the country? And I'm going to give you the most terrifying answer. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. And not a single Democrat here cares. The most telling proof of Biden's decline came with the signature of the president, the symbol of executive authority that was outsourced to a machine. Mr. Wold, you're a lawyer who served in the White House counsel's office. You understand the gravity of presidential action. Does the president's signature carry legal and constitutional weight under Article 2?
Yes.
Is the act of signing an executive order or signing a law or granting a pardon a delegable duty of the president?
So in that opinion in 2005 from OLC, they said essentially that an Autopen could be used by a subordinate, but the president's determination as to sign the document can never be delegated.
Can that authority be transferred to a staffer or a machine without the president's explicit authorization?
Never.
And if you look at the statistics are stunning. In 2021, President Biden issued 78 executive orders. None were signed with an Autopen. That first year of the presidency, Biden, I suppose, was relatively lucid, and 78 executive orders he signed by hand. The second year, however, we see the Autopen emerge. The first Autopen executive order was issued on July 15th, 2022. After that day, 100% of the executive orders issued in 2022 were signed by an Autopen. In 2023, Biden issued 24 executive orders. 16 were Autopenned. In 2024, Biden issued 19. 14 were Autopenned. In 2025, Biden issued 14 executive orders. Every single one was Autopenned. Mr. Wald, let me ask you as a legal matter, if there's a law that's passed both houses of Congress and it goes to the White House, and a staffer autopens signing that law without the president's authorization, is that law legally passed and signed into law?
No.
If an executive order is issued and a staffer autopens it without the president's authorization, is that executive order legally binding?
No.
And if a pardon is issued from the President of the United States and a staffer autopens it without the president's authorization, is that pardon legally binding?
No.
Under the Biden White House, the ceremonial song, Hail to the Chief, was effectively replaced with Hail to the Pen. And it was an outright assault on democracy. And every reporter covering this ought to ask, why doesn't a Democrat care? We heard about the moral responsibilities of a staffer. How about an elected senator who knows damn well that if we get into a war and Iran is preparing to fire a nuclear weapon at the United States, that the commander-in-chief is busy playing with his Jell-O and is not competent to defend ourselves? And every member of the cabinet, the chief of staff, the press secretary, and the members of Congress who lied about this on a daily basis with the press's complicity, they are all responsible for subverting democracy.
Senator Cornyn.
The answer? No. Let that sink in. If Biden's not personally signing these orders, are they even legit? Cruz argued that this isn't some technical hiccup. It's a direct threat to democracy itself. Then came the issue of Biden's health. We're living through tense times, global threats, nuclear risks, you name it. Cruz hammered home the point. How can we trust a president who is mentally incapable of fulfilling his duties? Who's leading the country if the president isn't fully there? He pressed the issue of national security and demanded answers. Cruz didn't let anyone off the hook. He blasted the Democrats for staying silent, for what he called propping up a failing administration, and he called out the media for covering up what's really happening behind closed doors. According to Cruz, it's not just about Biden's health, it's about a system covering for him, and that's dangerous for all of us. He closed with a warning. The American people deserve more than this farce. It's time for accountability. We cannot let this continue. So, what do you think? Is the Autopen a sign of something deeper, maybe a real constitutional crisis? Or is this just another day in the political circus? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe for the latest on government transparency, national security, and all the battles shaping American leadership.
Thanks for watching The Left-Wing Critic, where politics meets passion and we hold power to account. If you're tired of corporate spin and left-wing noise, hit the subscribe button, like the video, and join the movement. The left doesn't stay silent, and neither do we.